This is the Fulton Podcast.
Well, like here, I got a few questions for you. It's like, we know about these bombers. I mean, does it bother anybody? I don't know. We're talking about a historical throwback. These bombers they send out. Can you imagine those bombers being useful in any case?
If you're flying, maybe if you're like actually in atmosphere flying over a city,
right?
But like, you're right. It's like, also if you can just if you know how to jump out of hyperspace, maybe jump out of hyperspace a little bit closer. if you know how slow your ship is, you're gonna have 5 minutes to be able to pull up and get away from the dreadnought. Just stop a little closer.
He didn't learn from Admiral Oswald too well. Admiral Oswald jumped in too close, and these guys are trying to jump too far away.
You're talking about the bombers, though.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that what the question was?
You're talking. Well, yeah. No, the bombers.
See,
the bombers
I didn't even know that they jumped in from hyperspace.
Did they really?
They just panned to them as if
they've
always been there.
Oh, I thought they jumped in.
I have to check that one again. That could be, yeah.
I've seen this movie exactly twice, and I haven't.
I saw it twice.
I could have sworn they jumped in hyperspace. Either way.
Okay.
Yeah. Do they have hyperspace?
But that's the other thing. They didn't even justify it.
If they flew in, then you've seen them for 20 minutes.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And
I was like, they're like, oh my gosh, Rebel bombers approaching.
Yeah.
How long ago did you know that?
Jumping from hyperspace. I'm pretty sure they did because
the movie's even dumber than you gave them credit for.
I'm fairly certain they had to jump in. They jumped in.
That's the only thing that makes
sense. But they
sense.
don't show that.
I think they did.
We'll have to check.
But they had to because Poe was the only one there in front of the dreadnought. They showed everything and how it was one little X-wing.
I thought it was just bad cinematography.
I'm pretty sure they jumped in
because it's space. This is in a ground battle. They would have just showed up and knocked down some trees and been like here. And
right.
Then,
I understand what they were trying to do. I understand what they were trying to do with the bombers flying in and dropping bombs on things. And that's but it's like I was
also,
saying.
I don't have a problem with the fact that the bombs were dropped.
I don't really mind with that. Yeah, I know.
I heard
we were future technology. That's all I needed.
Future tech.
They explained it. They did say they're on magnetic rails. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're a really slow Gus or a really slow railgun. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You didn't need to explain that. Because I understand future technology. All you need is a reverse tractor beam just to push everything out. All you need is a spring at the top to push them all down.
The only
whatever you need.
The only thing that seemed
it works.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it was that they were basically suicide bombers.
If they're that weak, right? So they can't
pull out of that.
So explain to me, if they can't handle fighters, after you take out every single gun on the enemy ship, they can't handle fighters. Okay, not even with fighter support.
Yep.
What are these things useful for? Like really?
Yeah, I mean, dropping a massive amount of bombs on something that's not shooting at them.
Yeah, exactly. Now let me explain.
Killing civilians.
Let me explain how this works in history. The reason why these guys worked is because they were called high-level bombers.
Oh yeah.
You drop bombs from so far away. They call it shooting bombs.
They can't shoot. Yeah, they can't hit you.
Yeah.
Right. That was the whole point.
So what would have made sense if you were trying to match that same thing is where Poe is there. And they're focusing on him, and then a whole bunch of bombs land on their ship because they never saw it coming,
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And then they have to send fighters to go pick off the bombers,
and then he could finish and then he could finish the "Your Mom" joke from there after they've been blown up.
Am I the only one who
if
feels
you want to keep it?
Okay, so in the Star Wars universe, I feel like our universe is leaking in. Like we've never had a "Your Mom" joke. We've never had anything like that. It was funny. It was a funny moment, but I feel like references that come from our universe. This is a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago, a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be that. Oh, we have the same joke. Like, our jokes are purely referential based on our Earth's and our species' existence and evolution as just
society
as a species and a society. That's where it comes from. So those jokes don't necessarily cross. Like there's no, well, why did the Womp Rat cross the road? Like, okay, well, for one he flew, but whatever. he was dragged by a pissed off Wookiee. But like,
I actually think they have done that. But it does seem if you tell that joke that way, it's still different from Poe actually saying
Jamal,
the chicken crossed the road, and he uses the word chicken, and he uses the word. It's still different if he says Womp Rat crosses. There were actually jokes where you see.
But the reason why we tell that
joke. Do you remember there was one other joke? It was about bikers, and it was a rebel joke supposedly told on Endor, and it's not in the movie. It's just in one of these other books and one of the technical manuals, and they go, "What's the last thing to go through a scout trooper's mind when he hits a tree?" And it says afterburner. And it's like, that's obviously a motorcycle joke, or obviously a car joke, or like
the bug splatting on the windshield, and his feet are the last thing in his brain.
It's like, but it doesn't. That's all right, because they're still trying to maintain suspension of belief. They're kind of leaning on the fourth wall, but they're not breaking it.
I do
like
feel
Deadpool.
like
it definitely felt like like our world is leaking into the Star Wars world.
Too much.
It's like you've got a crack in it, and there's like the jam is leaking out. Do you remember
the stupidest jokes are leaking?
Do you remember Spaceballs? And they have this like the radar is jammed.
Yeah,
it's strawberry leaking out of the screen.
Right, exactly.
It's like You're obviously... It was the same. It was the 2018 dialogue, like I was talking about with Solo, and it's like, sorry, I hit you in your face. Just say, sorry, I punched you, okay?
Well, when we talk about bad dialogue, not the dialogue isn't the only problem. Sometimes the situation that the dialogue is set up for is even worse. Like, when we set up, so these bombers show up, right? So Poe's got this plan, so I assume he's somewhere in the chain of command, right? He's a commander or whatever.
Commander.
And he's there. And now he does his thing. He flies in, and he says, "Oh no, I can do it." And Leia's like, "No, we can't do it." And then the bombers go anywhere. I don't get that.
Yeah, did she not call them?
Why doesn't she? She's like, "Yeah, Poe's an idiot. Poe's an idiot."
You call everybody. You go, "Hey, everybody who's listening to this channel, come back."
General Leia, top of the food chain here.
Yeah, top of the food chain as far as the food chain goes. Well,
pretty much.
Is she higher than Akbar? Rest in peace, Akbar.
I think she was.
They should have used Akbar.
He would have been so much. They wiped him out.
At the end when he used, it should have been Akbar at the end going, "It's a trap."
Did you see the
throws the switch and goes, "Hyperdrive through you." Like that was. I'm going to make an edit.
Akbar would have been the only person I would have believed to do that.
I'm announcing this to the public. I'm going to make an edit, and I'm going to do all the effects work I can to replace Admiral Holdo or Holdo, whatever her name is, with Akbar. So like. It's just in that scene. I'm not going to do the entire movie because that's a lot of work, and I don't have time for that, especially if I'm not going to get paid for it.
Do you know what this is?
Where he goes, where it's like, he just turns and he goes, "It's a trap." And he goes, and just runs him over. Like, that'd be so cool. I'm going to include his cool spinny chair and everything.
Watch how it should have ended. That is the best.
Making my own.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's...
They have...
So it didn't make sense why Poe didn't... It made sense why Poe didn't pull back, but it also didn't make sense why she didn't, call the bombers and say, "All right, bombers, this is General Leia, come back."
And then, she's top of the chain of command. Remember, she's top of the chain of command. Okay, she can totally say abort mission.
Say no to her.
She says, "Well, abort the mission," and then she doesn't tell them to do that.
Yeah.
And then Poe comes back and she's like, "All these dead people you killed." Well, the buck stops with her.
Yeah,
it's all on her head.
Right, exactly. Technically, he should be tried. You shouldn't just drop his rank. He should be tried as somebody who just.
There's an Air Force friend of ours who we were talking to, and he was like, I was mentioning the chain of command thing, how the buck stops with her, and he was like, heck no, he should be court-martialed and toast right now.
Like that was I felt like,
but she is also it's fault if she didn't say anything to them. But the bombers who died, if she did call them, that's on them.
Yeah.
They didn't. They listened to Poe.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's how it works.
But there was no explanation.
It was funny. Yeah. It was funny. I'm watching that scene and seeing he's having this argument with Leia, and I was like, something bad is going to happen. Why? Because Poe's being an idiot.
Yep.
And he is being an idiot. Like, there's people who say he did nothing wrong, and it's true because the script. Like I said, the guns are charging up. They're going to blow up the ships anyway. So in the end, this is why this script is so schizophrenic. It's all over the map trying to throw red herrings at you. And it's so much that it just feels so like I don't know what I'm supposed to think. And it's so unfocused. But the way that they said it, that was the clue I got. I was only getting it from like my knowledge of how people talk in a script when you don't care that this character's being stupid because you want them to be stupid so you can set up the fact that they're wrong. See?
Yeah.
And set up a growing moment for later.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You should have listened to the chain of command.
Oh man! And then they have that scene with Leia and Holdo where they're talking to each other about, and I love you, and you're so amazing, and yeah, bye, girlfriend. Oh, it's so sad. You're gonna stay and die. Yeah, that's
but
too
not me,
bad.
because I'm too important.
Oh yeah, and if you should go, everything's. It was like, no, you should go. I should stay. No, you should go. You should
exactly.
go. It was like people at a bridge party. You know,
I feel like they must have had a heart attack when I wish no harm on her, but Carrie Fisher passes away right after that, and I bet they were like beating themselves up over that. They're like, crap, we should have just let her die. We should have let her die.
Yeah, if Leia had blown up the ships. Also,
How are they supposed to save that now? Really? I mean,
it's. I don't know.
can't figure that out.
I think they're just gonna do a year skip in advance, and either she's not. They're like, okay, well, I think they've already announced that it's gonna be, or like there's been some production photos or where it's like people have longer hair, and it's not just a couple of days. I think it's gonna be like a year or something down the road, and so she could be either dead, or she could be off fighting battles somewhere else, or she could be garnering.
Kick that can down
she
the
could
road.
She could be garnering support since no one came to their assistance. Yeah,
since it worked so well last time.
Everybody loves me. It's like apparently not. Nobody came. Everyone who was like remnant of the Republic, even Lando didn't show up. So
even after you blew up the whole fleet.
Oh,
exactly.
by the way, from what did you think of the hyperspace ramming?
I think breaks the universe.
Yep.
It does. Also,
I remember sitting there, and I remember sitting there watching it, and I was like,
just put that stuff on it. Just put it, attach that to an asteroid.
Yeah,
and you can kill anything.
I was
like, this is not even smart. I was like, stick a penny on a hyperdrive and watch it.
I was literally holding back. Yeah. I was literally holding back this feeling like, ooh, that was good. Oh wait, no, it's not.
No, what was cool it was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Sound design was perfect.
The visuals are great, but
fantastic.
Yeah,
100% on par. That's what that would look like if that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Problem is, it's never happened before, and I refuse to believe that Admiral Haldo, whatever her name is the first person to discover that you can do that.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe
I thought of that when I was 10.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, I remember John, when we were, this was about a decade ago, probably.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
and John was like, I have a problem with in Star Wars how when you shoot an X-Wing, they just, all the parts just dissolve and disappear. But if in space, all the parts just keep flying forward. So if you're flying towards a Star Destroyer, why don't they get vaporized by the flying parts of the ship?
Yeah, it would be like a shotgun.
Right, exactly. And like I remember you mentioning that. Yeah. I was thinking about that earlier today. And it's like, but that's kind of what you're talking about. It's like, oh, why don't you just light speed through somebody? It's like you're afraid to shoot somebody, or you have to vaporize them entirely. Otherwise, there's going to be things that are still going to hit you. Like if you blow up a TIE fighter and fly your X-Wing through the explosion, guess what? There's parts of that TIE fighter in there that are now jammed in your exhaust port.
Which they dealt with in episode 4. They had him take it out and
Wedge flies right through.
Yeah, and he says he's a little cooked, but he's okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and then they never mentioned it again. But it has in every movie since then.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Which is fine. Just say our blasters are so strong when you're up close that they just vaporize.
Yeah.
Or something.
And they also have in The Force Awakens another thing that they set up and then dropped. Han gets through Starkiller Base's shields by light speeding through it. So he's not.
That makes sense
because he's not physically there.
Again,
it's hyperspace.
There's that pinpoint hyperspace accuracy that those bombers can't nail in the very next movie. You don't have to get as close as Han Solo did, which is scraping the nose of your Falcon against the mountainside. You don't have to get that close. All you have to do is get right above the nose.
Yeah.
And then drop your bombs and hyperspace right through that sucker. That's all you got to do.
Be all charged up, have the computers all set and ready to go. Yeah.
Sure, the greatest pilot in the galaxy allegedly can fly his Millennium Falcon through a planet, stop 6 inches before he crashes into it, and pull up from there. Your bomber can stop at the front of this 15-mile long ship and stop at the front of it, drop your bombs, and be gone.
Yeah. I thought it was
inconsistent. That's just an inconsistency.
I thought it was stupid in The Force Awakens too. I mean,
obviously, absolutely,
Han Solo should have done something cool, but it's like at that point you're dealing with such a small margin of error, and he's just like, about now. He like flips it back. Like there's no countdown or anything.
Right. It's
There's
not
literally.
it's not like the droid brain that C-3PO was talking to in episode 5 and 6.
Yeah.
That's not doing any calculations. It's all just like, this feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's a good thing that felt good right then. You lucky
Son
space
of a
gun.
gun.
You.
Yeah.
No, that's not how this works.
No.
That's not how engineering works. That's not how any of this works.
Oh boy.
So
Yeah. Well,
so
this is
I
the
did have a problem with it.
yeah. So this is I think this comes back to see when you have something that's
What do you think, Matt?
well, see this is to me this is obviously when you come down to when you're making something that's fantastical. Obviously, the whole point that something like hyperspace exists in science fiction is because planets are so far apart, it would literally take thousands of years for you to get there without it.
Hundreds.
Millions. Yeah.
Well, it
Millions
depends
or
on the
hundreds?
star.
Because there's something 100 light years away, right? There's
We're
That's
a-
like
300.
the nearest
The universe
one.
is 300 million
No,
light years
so-
per
I thought it
hour.
was like-
So
to get to the other side of the
yeah,
galaxy
that
would
number,
take
but-
like
Isn't the closest star like some 100 light years or something like that?
I think
Could
it
be.
is. It might
So
be.
it would take 100 years at light speed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, so
It's a long
also
time.
so
When
this
they-
is kind of an engineering question. You know anything about like is it the Hadron Collider?
Yeah, Large Hadron Collider.
Okay, so
yeah.
do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Matt? Okay, so
My
that,
grandmother works in the library. For
Okay, cool. So that particle that's flying around, what's the speed of that?
Told you he was a Dark Lord. Of
Is it
Physics.
like,
it's near relativistic
It's-
speeds. Yeah,
okay.
I mean it's
so,
up there.
So you've heard about the guy who put his head in there or his arm in there or something like that, and it passed through his head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
I
all it
remember,
did was
yeah.
create just a little hole. He survived.
Uh-huh.
There was a Soviet guy who got zapped by a maser during the Cold War. He was
It's like a laser, except Soviet.
Okay.
Yeah, they shot
Yeah,
him.
I was like, I
They
don't know what
shot
that
him with
is.
a maser. It's a matter laser, so
Okay.
it accelerates matter really, really fast,
Particle
relativistic speeds, right? So they shot him with it on accident, and he had some weird psychedelic effects, but he was all right.
Okay, I
he
think
was all right.
So, but that
He got
so
back
that
to normal
being
in a couple
said,
weeks.
if that thing's moving close to relativistic speeds, which is
Yep.
for the layman like myself, that means close to
Near
Lurchburg.
I guess it's like
Close to Lurchburg?
300,000 kilometers per
Okay,
second.
and that's just slower than light speed, like just slower.
Something like that.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
okay, so
186,000 miles an hour.
something traveling that fast, like a starship,
Yeah.
crashing into a command ship that's really big.
Well, and actually
Would-
things
would-
start to break down even further because near relativistic speeds, your momentum, the mass times the velocity of that thing, in other words, the amount of stuff you need to stop it, goes to infinity based on Newton's law
So-
or Einstein's
So
laws.
would what happen?
Yeah,
Just about.
So
yeah.
so that
you
would
tear
that was
space time.
fairly-
I mean, yeah, I mean,
time travel. That's how they fixed this movie.
this is why Holdo isn't dead.
JJ, get on it.
sad. I wanted
They
Holdo
did it for
gone. I
Star
really
Trek.
did.
They could do it for Star Wars.
Yeah, which I'd be annoyed.
Actually, we have no idea. We have no idea what would happen if you actually hit something in that
But
speed.
theoretically,
Yeah, but
in theory, you
it's
tear
right in
space-time.
half, right?
Theoretically,
You blow
but
it to
even-
you're dumping near infinite energy into a near infinitely small space,
Okay.
which
So
means you're going to destroy the enemy ship on a molecular
right.
level.
So like Ray
So, yeah,
and
at some point, yeah,
So basically,
and
at the
emo
point,
Darth Vader are dead.
yeah,
everybody's dead. Yeah, no, everybody.
and
Although I will say,
Space
what I
doesn't
do-
transfer energy very quick easily, but
there's
space time does.
Not a lot
So
of friction.
Yeah.
That being said, I kind of do like where I see Kylo Ren and Rey going, as in they're not a relationship, but their interaction with each other.
they're just missing that by like this
No,
much.
no, absolutely. They're
and I
just
keep
barely
going,
missing
I
it.
swear, if I mean,
They're like two light speed
trying
ships
not
just
to care.
flying by each
Flying
other.
right by each other.
it's
Two-
like if
two
if
people
they
trying
have,
to hyperspace
If
ram
they have
each other.
Rey and Kylo, I was surprised by the number of people who actually wanted Rey and Kylo to get together.
I don't
and
understand why them get together, but I like that he was reaching out to her and that desperation at the end of him saying, "Please don't go," and that last communication between them, and her making the decision to turn her back and go away. But I gave you your chance. Like I thought that was just a really powerful moment.
The
I will say
last
that is
moment,
what I
I
did
think
like
I
about
kind of
it.
remember.
and that was
yeah.
one of the few throwbacks that was played straight. I mean, Darth Vader does that to Luke in the end, episode 5, right?
Yeah,
he says,
he
"Join
does,
me,
he
and
does.
we'll rule the universe as father and
from
son."
the ship to the Millennium Falcon before it escapes.
Slightly
Luke,
different.
You know it to
Yeah,
be true. Yeah,
Right.
and he's like, "Father, why didn't Obi-Wan? Why did you tell
But
me?"
there was definitely a different need though.
Well,
True,
obviously,
but I'm
yeah.
just saying
It
it was one of the few throwbacks that was played straight.
It worked.
Is all I'm saying. It wasn't
Yeah.
played for giggles or
I guess.
whatever.
But,
Same.
yeah, I just, oh man, it was just like, why does everything have to be?
I like how
He's
that
the
ended.
bad boy. I like bad boys. It's just, oh, God, stop
As a
it.
bad boy, I sympathize with him. Just kidding. I sympathize with him. No, so anyways, I just
Yeah.
There are good things about that movie. I think if we're about to wrap this up, I think we can keep going. I'll go all night. But I think just if we just want to wrap just talking about that trilogy, just put a nice little bow on it.
Okay.
I would like this current sequel trilogy a lot better if it was 100 years in the future.
You know,
Where
what?
you
I've heard
don't,
that,
where
I
you
heard that
don't
said
have
before.
Han, you don't have Leia,
There's,
you don't have Luke, you don't have Chewbacca, you don't have anybody. There's no original characters. It's Skywalker's down the line. It's Cade Skywalker from the far future.
And it would
I
make
think I
me
remember
feel
that.
it would
And
make me
kind
feel
of-
like the
I-
end of episode 6 was actually worth something.
Right.
Right,
You
you know, they had
exactly, where it's
100
like
years
20
apiece.
later.
They bought 100 years apiece. We got 3 good movies, and they bought 100 years apiece, and that kind of like in
Exactly.
movie.
And
you know,
then
to-
something else
right.
happens, and it's not the Empire.
Yeah, I would have
it's-
forgiven him for that.
Yeah, it could
I'd be
be-
okay with then it being called the First Order instead of 30 years later.
Oh, man.
We have this new thing that's taken over the galaxy in less than 30 years. Whereas the Republic had to fall in order for the Empire to do it, and the Empire just replaced it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I would
yeah,
have preferred. I think these movies would be fine, and I'd be a lot more okay with them if that was the case. If you didn't have to rely on Han and Luke and Leia for my nostalgia, and ruin characters that I disagree with the way you're taking them. I disagree with the way that you're writing these characters. If you just took that away, I would be okay with it. I'd be a lot more okay with it than trying to destroy my little piece of nostalgia that I grew up with. I mean, I understand why you have to do it because you want those people to be like, I want to go see what they're up to now. I'd be okay if you just mentioned it. You know, Grandmaster Luke Skywalker, he fixed everything. Or, you know,
He could be like Yoda. You know,
right?
Yoda.
Exactly. Have him appear and talk to his
doesn't-
great grandson or something.
Yeah, and Yoda's there, but he doesn't. He appears, he says some wise stuff, and then everything kind of continues on past him, and then he does pass away, and they kind of went, look, see, Luke passed away like the same way that Yoda did, and I'm like, yeah, but Yoda got literally 800 years to become master this, that, and the other thing, and instead he's over here going, light things on fire, isn't that so great? And look, I'm playing with my words. It's like he talks about, he tells Luke, he says that the tree has nothing that Rey does not already possess. And I feel like the point he's trying to tell Luke is that basically she's already learned everything that she can learn from you, which is
apparently
bullshit.
Nothing. Because you're working.
You didn't teach her anything.
How about teach her to broadcast yourself across the galaxy and distract a bunch of bad guys?
Yeah, no, that's
okay.
We're not going to teach you how to do that. And then they have.
Where did he learn that from?
Right, but at the same time, it also feels like Yoda's being dishonest because he's not telling Luke that the books aren't there. It's like when the somebody tells you, oh, well, you know that Santa Claus isn't real, right? And you go, see, my parents didn't see. I don't know if this is maybe this is a parent thing. Maybe this is the way that all of these people's parents were like. They all told them these lies. I feel like this is a big millennial thing. Like, I grew up and I found out that not everything is true, and it's like they're coming out of that into, everybody, all good people lie eventually because they don't want you to know how bad things truly are. And I'm like, oh my God, my parents were not like that. Okay. My parents told me up front Santa Claus isn't real. They told me that he's a cool guy
and that Saint
he
Nicholas
was a legend.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What?
Yeah, he was a legend.
Saint Nicholas was that. We originally started as Saint Nicholas, this man who put pennies in people's socks that were drying over their fireplace.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point is that we were supposed to act like Saint Nicholas. Was that we were supposed to be givers, and that we were supposed to care about people.
The spirit
we were Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
I was taught the same
we were
thing.
giving, we were all giving to each other. So I would give to my brothers, and we would all pick things out, of course, because we didn't make money. But we would pick gifts out for our brothers.
Why did I have to pay for that?
Or our siblings.
Mom,
I didn't have sisters. But, if we had friends that were girls and we were going to go to a party where they were at, then we'd bring a gift for them as well. But that was the whole point, was that we were giving. That was the whole point of Santa Claus. It's not that Santa Claus isn't real. It's that we're Santa Claus. See?
Yeah.
He's a symbol for the truth. I feel like these were the kind of people who, like, they got told that Santa Claus was real, and then at 6 years old they went, I can never trust anyone in my life again. And then they got to a certain point like they got to 26 or whatever, and they're like, I can't. I realize why everyone was lying. It's because the world sucks all the time. So now I'm going to pass on that legacy to all of the Star Wars fans by telling them that everything in Star Wars is a lie, and
It's not real.
but it's okay because you've got us now. And I'm like, I'm gone. I was gone 30 minutes ago, man. This is not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, anyway, we definitely want to see Star Wars make some good stories,
Yeah.
and they have made a few, with Rogue One and
Rogue One was
Solo.
good.
I think for me, Solo as a movie was almost decent.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
It was just short of being decent.
Yeah,
I think,
just
and
short of it,
I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was all right to watch. Yeah.
It passed the time. I didn't feel like it was dragging too much, but and then when it was over, I was just like, I just collected all my thoughts and was like, these are the problems I had with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But anyway,
you can just, it's a good movie. If you enjoy Star Wars or you love just the sci-fi genre, just go watch it. Like, you don't need to know anything about Star Wars to get these references. It's a good just jumping off point. If you didn't watch 4, 5, and 6, it doesn't matter.
And the truth
it's got
is,
references to 4, 5, and 6, but it's not going to affect your viewing of it because you don't get the fact, why does he call him Han?
The truth is, none of the new Star Wars movies need you to know anything about Star Wars except for maybe
Except for the sequels, probably.
maybe the existence of Yoda.
And
But
the sequels, you need to understand what's
yeah.
important with Luke. Where did he come from? Why are Han and Leia and Chewbacca and why are those characters important?
Yeah.
But I think Han Solo is just a it could really exist if you just put it in the universe for like Firefly. Just put in that's a good movie. That's it.
That's
could
true.
be its own universe.
I felt like they were taking a lot of influence from Firefly on that one.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, the beige version.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
It was your post that I shared that
Yes,
audio.
it was. I was like, I think that he's talking about me. So, anyways, that's my closing thoughts.
Any more, or you just did yours, man?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Sure.
And I just went on this huge long rant, so I guess we're about wrapped up for today.
We're about 2 hours in.
Oh boy, yeah.
It's about normal, right?
Episode 3. So episode 1 was a 1-parter. 2 is a 2-parter. Is 3 going to be a 3-parter?
6
And then
episodes.
is 4 going to be a 4-parter?
It's Fibonacci
Oh,
numbers,
boy.
guys.
Well,
numbers.
But hopefully it won't be with me.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
4 hours later.
We were going to go over our next episode. I mean, we've kind of postponed that just a little bit. We have to go rewatch The Lord of the Rings, maybe.
Oh, yes.
And
We were
we were
gonna
going
do
to
Lord of the
do
I
some
look forward to those
discussion on
episodes.
that. What?
Ooh, are you preparing for the Amazon show that's going to be coming out? Maybe read the Silmarillion?
What? There's going to be... Oh, no.
Wait, did you not hear about that?
No.
Amazon's is going to make a Silmarillion TV show.
Somebody's
Wait, are
always
you seriously
saying
not heard about
something
this?
like that.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
feel like I might have heard
I'm
about
going to
it.
be your
Yeah.
nerd correspondent news.
I'll watch it. No, it's actually one of those things. It's like Solo.
Wait,
I'll watch
you've
it.
You've
I'll
heard
watch
about it, right?
I think I heard little pieces
I've
about
heard
it, but I
little
didn't hear
pieces.
And Peter
Somebody-
Jackson's helping put together the team that's going to make it.
Okay.
But he's not involved. He's just putting together a team of Lord of the Rings.
It's if anyone has ever read the Silmarillion, it's tough to be happy about the Silmarillion, but holy smokes!
But there's enough stories in there to make a TV show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
probably.
see, that was actually, I was thinking
It
about
needs to be
that,
a TV
and
show,
I was
for
thinking
sure.
that the
but don't read
Silmarillion would really work
I tried to
best
read it.
as a TV show or a miniseries.
Yep,
It
absolutely.
would work a lot better that way, and the reason is just because it really pretty much is. It covers like 1,000 years of history.
And don't
It's
get me
not
wrong,
like the
it's a
Lord
cool
of the
story.
Rings,
Right.
and it's basically an anthology of all these different stories.
Well,
So
it's also
that would
talks
make
about
perfect
where
sense.
Sauron came from and
Yeah,
his
yeah.
and the Great Lord that he was the lieutenant of before him.
The other one I'm looking forward to is the Jack Ryan reboot.
Ooh, yeah, with
With
John
John
Krasinski.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to go.
I'm waiting for that in
With
August.
Jim from
yeah,
The Office.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait for those camera glances.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's gonna be on Amazon.
yeah.
Maybe that's somewhere you can get.
Maybe.
to future episodes.
I like I said, I will watch it.
Oh,
I
absolutely!
will
I'm going to watch
We'll
it because it's
definitely
Amazon.
say
I have Amazon
something about
Prime.
it.
Who doesn't have Amazon Prime?
Yeah,
but
that's right.
also, so that, and then also The Expanse. Have you guys watched The Expanse at all?
Oh yeah.
I watched both. I didn't see season 3 yet, but I saw the first 2,
Just keep-
and
just keep
I liked
going.
it a lot.
But yeah, Amazon's going to take it over. So you'll have my favorite.
But we can watch all three on
my
Amazon.
favorite sci-fi show,
Ah,
and then by the time Lord of the Rings come out, it'll be probably my favorite fantasy show because Game of Thrones will be done by then.
Ah,
There you go.
Oh,
There you
so
go.
it's finally coming to an end. I was wondering why.
Yeah, last season's going to be coming out in 2019.
Oh wow. Okay, so I
Does the
hadn't
winter
heard a
arrive,
lot.
or
It
what
was
is it?
like
Winter's coming.
I hadn't heard a lot
No?
about Game of Thrones in the last
because
year or something.
it was like a year ago when the last
Season was.
season was, but they had to postpone it because they're filming most of this season in the winter because, spoiler alert, winter's come.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
But they have to film it during the winter. They can't just film it in the summer like they've been filming the other ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Anyway, John,
of
close
fake-
us out here.
Too much fake snow.
Give me
We'll
out
talk
here.
all the things we
Okay,
want. You're going to have to cut this
outro.
anyway.
hyperdriving
so
away.
anyway, thank you so much for
Hyperspace ram into...
I'm getting
Amazon.
This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm getting into my hyperdrive ring because my ship is too small for a hyperdrive engine built into it. Be an hyperspace ring that's gonna get shot out of the sky. Bye, guys.
Just
Oh,
hyperspace ram, the
But don't
hyperdrive
worry,
ring.
I'll call back in if you need me.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Uh,
I'm gonna go find
So-
Camino.
Yep.
all right. Well,
Find
thank you
purpose.
so much for listening this long. If you're listening to this, then we have, well, no, we're still alive. Okay. But anyway, this has been the Full Ton Podcast. Please ring the bell and subscribe. If you'd like to support us, you can buy my book at the link in the description below.
Which we will talk about.
Future episode.
Oh, Craig, would you like to plug your real Twitter?
My
now?
real Twitter, yes, it's John. I'm gonna try this Twitter to John. Okay, you can. Okay. If you do tweet at John, he could probably just relink me. It's actually Craig Birchett, Craig Birchett. It's on Twitter.com. So it's very difficult. But it's only Craig Birchett in the world, so I'm fairly easy to find.
Pretty much.
Just
And-
Google it, and it's
yeah.
probably one of
And
the
I am
first
not
things.
on Twitter
If you're looking,
because
if you find
Because
more,
it's a
I have
scary
no
place.
yeah,
it's a scary place. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
on
If
Twitter
you,
for
if
I have
you
a life,
really,
no.
if you really can't find the Craig Birchett, if there's more than
It's
one,
just Craig Birchett, not that Craig.
Oh,
Birchett.
okay.
There's only one.
right,
so
right.
no need to be that.
If there's really more than one on Twitter, he's the funny one.
Well, my last tweet was pretty funny, so if I haven't tweeted since then, just look at my last tweet.
Maybe I should get on Twitter just so I
Get
can
on
see your
Twitter.
tweet.
Get on Twitter. It's gonna be
Just
Matt.
tweet at
Twitter. Okay. Also tweet at me at Matt the Fulton. It's MATT 2 T's, and if that's taken, it's 1 T.
That's right.
And if you can't find me, it's Matthew the Fulton. If not, it's Matthew Fulton 33 forever. So it's gonna be one of those. Okay. Just search each one until you find this blonde-looking soon-to-be married dude.
Yeah,
See, here's the plus: is there's like a million Matt Fultons.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is Fulton a popular last name?
Oh,
it is
yeah.
actually everywhere but
I
Oklahoma.
guess there's two of you
There's
here.
like
so it
two-
must be
there's like a
popular
couple
name.
thousand
You guys
of
aren't
them,
brothers, right?
Of course not. Yeah, we're not even close.
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
of
Not
course.
even
We
remotely.
couldn't
related.
possibly be brothers. He's blonde and has blue eyes, and I have brown eyes and brown hair. But unfortunately, we are.
We're just hiding it from people.
We're hiding it.
Yeah, because you
from the
guys haven't
world.
mentioned it before.
Anyway, so follow Craig. He's really funny. If you like the show,
I'll keep expectations low.
if you like the
Low
show, leave us a
just like
comment,
Solo.
and if you didn't, also leave us a comment and subscribe to us because then you can yell at us more efficiently.
And tell us that we're wasting our time.
Yes. Until next time, I've been John Fulton.
I've been Matthew Fulton.
And I'm probably still Craig. I might change my name on Twitter.
We'll
I'll let you
double
know.
check that one.
Okay.
Check the description box below.
All right. See you later.